What's going on, everybody? And today we're talking about the 1986 film April Fool's Day, about a group of friends who stay at a remote vacation home when they start to fall victim to an unseen killer during the April Fool's weekend. But not everything is what it seems. Now, if you're looking for a good slasher movie that you can watch on your April Fool's holiday, look no further. Sure, the writing isn't great and the performances aren't all that memorable, but this is not a movie where good writing and good performances are required. But what we do have is a fun group of characters who love to play practical jokes. It's like senior year in high school, but 24/7. Yes, the characters are very childish, they're very immature, but they're also very fun. And for me, that's what keeps me coming back to this original 1986 April Fool's Day movie, because it's just a fun time. But talking about the practical jokes in particular, my favorite I think will always be the light switch prank, where he turns off the light switch and then another light switch in the room turns on and he goes over to shut that one off, another one in the room turns on, and again, it's just great stuff. And first we have our main character Muffy, and she's kind of the one who gets everyone together and gets everyone to this location, and she's got a really interesting backstory because there's a lot of pieces of this puzzle with her that we aren't quite sure about right away, and I like that kind of thing. But again, this is a movie where we don't really have to get all that deep with it. We're just here to have a good time, like the characters. And boy, oh boy, do we have an interesting cast of characters here. First of all, we have the great Tom Wilson. What? Biff Tannen is in this movie?
What are you looking at, butthead?
And the difference is, Biff Tannen is a character that we love to hate, but Arch here is just a character that we think is obnoxious at first, but deep down he's not so bad of a guy, and you do kind of like him. Then we got the always awesome Amy Steele coming in here, who I always love because Ginny is my favorite final girl in the Friday the 13th franchise, so it's good to see her in here as well. So because I have love for Amy Steele already going into this movie, that I'm immediately attached to that character anyway. But the Kit character is a likable character, and she is a good final girl for this film. Not quite on the same level as, say, Jenny from Friday the 13th Part 2, but she's still great. Then we got Chaz, man, and Chaz is just a blasty blast of a guy. This dude's all about having fun.
Champ here. I'm all about having fun. Get a couple of cocktails in me, start a fire in someone's kitchen, maybe go to SeaWorld, take my pants off.
And because he's a really entertaining character, he's a character I can get behind and root for too. Then we got Nikki, and she's kind of like the carefree spirit of the group, and she does follow all the tropes that you would expect to see in characters like that. There's really nothing different there. But what I do like about her is when shit starts getting weird and shit starts going down, immediately, she wants to go, and everyone else is just like, well, hold on, let's think about this. And just a little side note, is it just me, or do I always love when there's always that one guy who's like, calm down, all right, just calm down. And then we got Rob, and Rob is kind of, he's not, I wouldn't say built up, but you see all the tropes in this movie. So when you see the Rob character, you're like, oh yeah, this is the guy who's supposed to be in charge of this little rat pack here. He's the guy who's kind of like a leader, but the thing is, he's really not good at being a leader at all. Yeah, the Rob character, I just can't really get behind the guy. There's really nothing for me to grab onto there. I don't think he was a bad character, but it wasn't one that really worked for me. So okay, fun group of characters to follow, check. Now we need the location. I very much love and appreciate isolation horror, where the whole movie kind of takes place at one location, or in this case on an island somewhere in this little vacation home. I love that stuff. And I think the setting absolutely works here. I mean, it sets the tone, and again, we're gonna have some fun, but at the same time, we are alone on this island, so when shit starts going down, there's really no way out. And I've talked a lot already in this video about how fun this movie is. There's also a scene or two that's genuinely pretty creepy. There's not very many of those, but there's a scene in particular when they are in the attic and they're looking at all these really creepy dolls. The lighting, the score, the way the dolls looked all ugly and shit like that. It all just fit. It worked. In a sense, it almost feels like it kind of belongs in a different movie, just tone-wise. But hey, it's never a bad thing to have a scene like that in your horror film, so hey, I'm not going to complain. One thing I do want to complain about though is there are a lot of off-screen kills, and that's a bummer. I wish we would have gotten seen more kills, a little bit more blood. This is a slasher movie. It's a whodunit slasher, which again, I love the whodunit aspect of it, but like, it's a slasher and we don't really get to see that much slashing going on. But it's not a big enough complaint to take the movie down for me, because again, I think the characters are so entertaining, and I think if they weren't entertaining and we still had a lot of off-screen kills, this movie wouldn't be nearly as enjoyable as it is. But because we at least have fun characters that we're following, and we're having a lot of good entertainment value with them, I think that does kind of make, like, I can forgive off-screen kills in a movie like this, but it is a bummer. Okay, so I am going to put out a minor spoiler warning. I'm not going to go into too much details, but what I'm about to say is probably information that you don't want to know. So if you've never seen April Fool's Day, do yourself a favor, watch the 1986 April Fool's Day, come back and finish this review, because spoiler alert. I do want to briefly mention the reveal, and I'm not going to go into details again. If you're still watching and you haven't seen it, just know that there is a twist. There is a reveal, and it is honestly the most predictable twist ending probably in cinematic history. That being said, I think the motive is really interesting and really fascinating and different, and I quite like it. So like, part of that ending works for me, and then part of it, you know, it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. But to be fair, in a movie like this, with this title, like, what else were you gonna do? But all in all, guys, I think April Fool's Day is a really fun movie to watch, especially on April Fool's Day, but I think it's enjoyable any time of the year. It's a good time. Go ahead and check it out. Come back. Let me know what you guys thought of it down in the comment section below. And also in the comments, I do have an interesting question. So this movie, of course, as we were talking about, has Amy Steele, right? And the main character in this film is named Muffy. Now, if we go into Friday the 13th Part 2, which also starred Amy Steele, there was also a dog named Muffin.
Coincidence? I think not!
So my question for you guys in the comments, which Amy Steele pairing do you prefer? Do you prefer Amy Steele and Muffy in April Fool's Day, or Amy Steele and Muffin from Friday the 13th Part 2? Leave your answers down in the comment section. But like, I think I know what the majority of the people are going to say, but I'm still curious. So go down in the comment section below and let me know. Also, if you guys are new here, be sure to go hit that subscribe button. Go hit that like button, because that helps push things along in the algorithm. Hit that notification bell, as that helps you guys stay up to date with anything and everything we do over here on Movie Misfits. And with all that being said, guys, that's all I can say for today. So until next time, be excellent to each other and party on!